Bombshell alert in Minnesota, Viking Nation. The storm starts right now with a revelation no one saw coming. There's a quarterback mystery brewing deep inside the locker room, and the clues are dropping like breadcrumbs leading straight into enemy territory. A cornerback is firing shots at the media, calling out lies before facing the team that let him walk away with a Super Bowl ring. A veteran signal caller is about to step onto the field against the franchise that drafted him, the team that believed in him first but couldn't keep him. Trade whispers are growing louder as the deadline approaches, and the front office has a checklist that could reshape this roster in ways that'll make Packers fans sick. And just when you thought the injury report couldn't get more dramatic, a surprise name pops up that has everyone questioning Sunday's game plan. Each one of these shocks has the power to redefine the trajectory of this entire season. And if you're not locked in right now, you're about to miss the chaos that's about to explode across the NFC North. This is Viking Nation's moment to show the league we're not here to play games. We're here to dominate. And if you believe in the purple and gold more than you hate the Packers, smash that subscribe button right now, because what's coming next is pure fire. Let's dive straight into the first revelation, and trust me, it's a quarterback situation that'll leave you speechless. There's a cliffhanger unfolding in Minnesota that has every single member of the Viking Nation on the edge of their seats, hearts pounding, refreshing their phones every 5 minutes hoping for clarity. And it all revolves around one burning question that's been haunting us since Week 5 ended in London. Who the hell is going to be under center when the Eagles roll into US Bank Stadium on Sunday? Kevin O'Connell has been playing it coy all week, dropping hints here and there, but never fully revealing his hand. And that's exactly how a master chess player operates when the stakes are this high. But here's where it gets interesting, where the puzzle pieces start to click together in a way that makes perfect sense. If you've been paying close attention, **JJ McCarthy**, the young gunslinger who was supposed to be the future of this franchise, has been nursing an ankle injury that's kept him sidelined since Week 2. And while he's been participating in limited practices this week, the writing on the wall suggests he's not quite ready to face a Philadelphia defense that's hungry for blood. Meanwhile, Carson Wentz, the veteran with a chip on his shoulder and a history with the Eagles that runs deep, has been listed as a full participant in practice despite dealing with his own shoulder issues. And that's where the clues become impossible to ignore. Think about it. The Vikings cut Desmond Ridder loose after the London game, a move that seemed reckless at first because it left Minnesota with just a true passers heading into a bye week. But that decision only makes sense if the front office knew something we didn't. If they had insider knowledge that McCarthy would be back in some capacity by Week 7. The fact that McCarthy was never placed on injured reserve tells you everything you need to know. The plan from day one was to have him available after a maximum of 3 missed games, and guess what? Week 7 is exactly when that timeline lands. So here's the educated guess that every insider and analyst is whispering about. **JJ McCarthy will be dressed and available on Sunday **. Maybe not as the starter, maybe just as an emergency QB3, but he'll be there, and that means Carson Wentz, the man who was drafted by Philadelphia in the first round back in 2016, the man who led them to a playoff run before injuries derailed his trajectory, is about to face his former team as the Vikings starting quarterback. Can you imagine the emotion coursing through Wentz's veins right now? This isn't just another game. This is a revenge tour. A chance to show the organization that moved on from him that they made a mistake. Wentz has gone 2-1 in his 3 starts this season, completing 69% of his passes for 759 yards, 5 touchdowns, and just the interceptions. Those are solid numbers that prove he's not washed up. Not a has-been, but a capable veteran who can lead this offense when his number is called. And now he gets to do it against the team that gave up on him. The kickoff is set for noon Central Time on Sunday, October 19th, and the atmosphere inside US Bank Stadium is going to be electric. The kind of energy that makes the walls shake and the ground rumble beneath your feet. 3 quarterbacks will be active, which means Kevin O'Connell has options, flexibility, and the ability to adjust on the fly if things go sideways. But make no mistake, this is Carson Wentz's moment. His chance to silence the doubters and prove that the Eagles made a colossal mistake, letting him walk away. Will McCarthy see the field? Will he get a few snaps in garbage time or come in if Wentz struggles? Nobody knows for sure, but the suspense is killing us, and that's exactly what makes this quarterback situation so damn captivating. So if you're as hyped as I am about watching Wentz take on his former team, drop a like right now and let the algorithm know that Viking Nation runs deep, because this story is just getting started, and what comes next is even more explosive. But hold on, as shocking as that quarterback drama is, the next update cuts even deeper, and it involves a cornerback who's not afraid to call out the media and set the record straight. Before facing his old squad, there's a fire burning inside one of Minnesota's defensive playmakers, and it's not the kind of fire you can extinguish with a few words or a polite smile. No, this is the kind of anger that fuels greatness, the kind of chip on the shoulder that turns good players into dominant forces who refuse to be. Disrespected *** Isaiah Rodgers ***, the cornerback who helped the Philadelphia Eagles win the Super Bowl before signing a 2-year, $15 million deal with the Vikings this past offseason, is setting the record straight, and he's not holding back. A reporter named Ed Crotch from Eagles on SI recently published a claim that Philadelphia prioritized bringing Rodgers back, that they wanted him to return and would have matched Minnesota's offer if given the chance. But according to Rodgers, that's complete and utter nonsense. A fabricated narrative designed to make the Eagles look good and shift blame away from the organization that let a talented cornerback walk out the door. Don't believe the media. Rodgers fired back on social media, making it crystal clear that the Eagles never made a serious effort to keep him, never gave his representation a real opportunity to negotiate. And honestly, can you blame him for being pissed? This is a guy who stuck with Philadelphia through one of the darkest moments of his career, who was suspended by the NFL for an entire year after violating the league's gambling policy. And the Eagles stood by him, gave him a second chance, and he repaid that loyalty by helping them win a championship. But when it came time to pony up and show him the money, Philadelphia chose to let him walk, to prioritize fiscal responsibility over keeping a cornerback who had proven his worth on the biggest stage. The article from Crotch suggests that $7.5 million per year over 2 years wasn't an exorbitant amount that the Eagles probably would have matched if Rodgers' agent had given them the chance. But Rodgers is calling that out as revisionist history, as an attempt to save face and pretend like the organization cared more than they actually did. And you know what? The proof is in the pudding. Since Rodgers left, Philadelphia's secondary has been a dumpster fire, struggling to contain opposing receivers and giving up big plays at an alarming rate. Meanwhile, Rodgers has been balling out for the Vikings, putting together one of the most impressive defensive performances in recent NFL history. During the Week 3 matchup against the Cincinnati Bengals, he forced 2 fumbles, returned one of them for a touchdown, and snagged an interception that he also took to the house. That's the kind of game-changing impact that Philadelphia is missing right now, the kind of playmaking ability that can swing the momentum of a game in an instant. And now, just days before the Vikings face the Eagles, the Philadelphia secondary is in disarray. Star rookie cornerback *** Quinyon Mitchell *** is dealing with a hamstring injury, and his status for Sunday is uncertain. He was listed as a limited participant in practice on Wednesday, which is never a good sign heading into a must-win game. Even if Mitchell does play, he's not going to be 100%, and that opens the door for Minnesota's offense to attack through the air. Kevin O'Connell, the Vikings head coach, has been complimentary of Philadelphia's secondary this week, praising their mix of instinct, ball skills, and overall football IQ. But let's be real, O'Connell isn't about to tip his hand and tell the world that he plans to exploit a banged-up cornerback group. That's not how the game is played at this level. What we do know is that ** Isaiah Rodgers ** is going to be locked in on Sunday, ready to prove to his former team that they made a massive mistake letting him leave. The pressure will be on him to shut down Philadelphia's top receivers, ** A.J. Brown *** and ** Devonta Smith ***. 2 of the most dangerous playmakers in the entire league. Brown and Smith haven't had the explosive games they had last season, and that's a concern for Eagles fans. But it's also a challenge for Minnesota's defense. Can Rodgers and the rest of the secondary keep Those, the lockdown for quarters, can they force turnovers and give Carson Wentz short fields to work with? Those are the questions that will determine the outcome of this game, and Rodgers is ready to answer them. So if you're hyped to see Isaiah Rodgers ball out against his former team and prove the doubters wrong, hit that like button and let me know in the comments, because this story is about to get even crazier, and what comes next involves trade rumors, deadline decisions, and a front office that's ready to make moves. And just when fans thought it couldn't get crazier, here comes the next bombshell that could reshape the entire roster. The NFL trade deadline is looming like a storm cloud on the horizon, and every single front office across the league is scrambling to figure out whether they're buyers, sellers, or somewhere in between. For the Minnesota Vikings, sitting at 3-2 and in the thick of the NFC North race, the question isn't whether they should make a move, it's what kind of move they should make, and how aggressive they're willing to be. Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah the Vikings general manager, has earned a reputation as one of the most active dealmakers in the NFL since taking over in 2022. He's orchestrated an impressive 30 for trades in just 3 years, and he's never let a season pass without making at least one move before the deadline. So the real question isn't if Kwesi will make a trade, it's when and for whom. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's break down the 5 critical factors that will determine whether Minnesota pulls the trigger on a blockbuster deal or stays quiet and rolls with what they've got. Factor number 1, money that makes sense. The Vikings currently have about $16.9 million in cap space, which isn't enough to land every player on the market, but it's more than enough to bring in a significant upgrade at a position of need. Money shouldn't be a major obstacle here, which means Kwesi has the flexibility to be aggressive if the right opportunity presents itself. Factor number 2, addressing the situation of need. This is where things get interesting, because Minnesota has a few glaring holes on the roster that could use an upgrade. The most obvious one is at center, where Ryan Kelly has already suffered concussions this season, a terrifying reality that can't be ignored. Kelly is a veteran who's been rock solid for years, but 2 concussions in 5 games is a red flag that demands attention. The Vikings have internal options like Blake Brandel and Michael Jurgens both of whom have gotten reps in practice, but neither is a proven long-term solution. Could Kwesi look to bring in a veteran center from a team like the New Orleans Saints or Cleveland Browns, to organizations that are clearly in sell mode? It's a possibility that can't be ruled out. Another area of need is at cornerback, where adding a veteran presence like Denzel Ward from Cleveland could give the secondary a massive boost heading into the second half of the season. Ward is a ball hawk who can lock down opposing number 1 receivers, and pairing him with Isaiah Rodgers would give Minnesota one of the most dangerous cornerback duos in the NFC. Factor number 3, not sacrificing too much. Kwesi learned a valuable lesson last year when he traded for Adam Thielen, giving up a 4th-round pick to bring back the beloved veteran receiver. At the time, the move made sense. Justin Jefferson was dealing with injuries. Jordan Addison was suspended for 3 weeks, and Yalen Naylor was banged up, but Thielen has barely made an impact this season, catching just 4 passes for 37 yards in 5 games. That's not the kind of production you expect from a guy you gave up draft capital to acquire. And it's a reminder that trades don't always work out the way you hope. Factor number 4, a look to the future. While dealing with the present. Kwesi has shown a willingness to make moves that benefit the team beyond just the current season. Take the Ezra Cleveland trade in 2023, for example. Cleveland was shipped to Jacksonville in a deal that cleared cap space and opened the door for Dalton Risner to start at left guard. It wasn't a flashy move, but it was a smart one, and it's the kind of forward-thinking decision-making that separates good GMs from great ones. Factor number 5, finding willing sellers. This might be the most obvious point, but it's worth emphasizing. You can't make a trade unless there's another team willing to deal. The good news is that there are plenty of struggling franchises out there who should be looking to sell, including the Cleveland Browns, New York Jets, and New Orleans Saints. These teams are going nowhere fast, and they'd be smart to unload veteran talent in exchange for draft picks and cap relief. The question is whether Kwesi can convince one of these teams to part with a player who can make a real difference for Minnesota. So where does that leave us? The trade deadline is set for Tuesday, November 4th at 3 p.m. Central Time, and the clock is ticking. Will Kwesi pull off another blockbuster deal? Or will the Vikings stand pat and trust the roster they've built? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, Viking Nation will be glued to their phones, waiting for that breaking news notification that changes everything. And if you're as pumped as I am about the possibility of a big trade, drop a comment below and let me know who you think the Vikings should target. But that's not the only fire burning inside this franchise, because the next headline is pure shock and it's heading straight for us. The anticipation has been building all week, the rumors swirling like a tornado through the Twin Cities. And now we finally have confirmation on the question that's been dominating every conversation among Viking Nation. Carson Wentz is expected to start at quarterback for Minnesota on Sunday against the Philadelphia Eagles. This isn't just another game, folks. This is a full-blown revenge tour. A chance for a 32-year-old veteran to silence his critics and prove to the organization that drafted him, believed in him, and ultimately moved on from him that they made a colossal mistake. Carson Wentz was the second overall pick in the 2016 NFL Draft, selected by Philadelphia with the hope that he'd become the franchise quarterback who would lead them to greatness for the next decade. And for a while, it looked like that dream was going to come true. Wentz had moments of brilliance, flashes of MVP caliber play that made Eagles fans believe they had found their guy. But injuries derailed his trajectory, and eventually, Philadelphia decided to move in a different direction, trading him away and starting over with a new signal caller. Since then, Wentz has bounced around the league, playing for 6 different teams in the past 6 years, trying to find a home where he could recapture the magic that made him a top 5 pick in the first place. And now, here he is in Minnesota, getting another shot to prove that he's not washed up, not a journeyman who's just collecting paychecks, but a capable starting quarterback who can win games when it matters most. The reports from CBS Sports Magazine make it clear, barring some kind of last-minute change, Wentz will be under center when the Vikings take the field on Sunday. J.J. McCarthy, who's been dealing with an ankle injury that's kept him sidelined for the past few weeks, has been practicing in a limited capacity, but the coaching staff apparently feels he needs at least one more week before he's ready to reclaim the starting job. That's good news for McCarthy's long-term health, but it's even better news for Wentz, who now gets a golden opportunity to shine on one of the biggest stages of his career. And let's talk about what Wentz has done so far this season, because the numbers speak for themselves. In 3 starts, Wentz has led the Vikings to a 2-1 record, completing 69% of his passes for 759 yards, 5 touchdowns, and just 2 interceptions. Those are rock-solid numbers, the kind of production that proves he's more than capable of managing an offense and making the plays that need to be made. But Sunday isn't just about managing the game, it's about making a statement, about showing the Eagles and the rest of the NFL that Carson Wentz still has plenty of gas left in the tank. The emotional weight of this game can't be overstated. Wentz is about to face the team that drafted him, the team that gave him his first shot at NFL stardom, and the team that eventually decided he wasn't good enough to be their guy. That kind of rejection stings, no matter how much time has passed. And you can bet Wentz has been circling this game on his calendar ever since the schedule was released. He's been dealing with a hip injury this week, but all reports indicate that he's fully healthy and ready to roll. The Eagles, on the other hand, are coming off a brutal loss to the New York Giants, a game they had no business losing, and their secondary is in shambles. Quinion Mitchell, their star rookie cornerback, is dealing with a hamstring injury, and his status for Sunday is up in the air. Even if Mitchell does play, he's not going to be 100%, and that's a massive advantage for Minnesota's passing attack. Kevin O'Connell, the Vikings' offensive mastermind, is going to have a field day scheming up ways to attack a banged-up Philadelphia defense. Expect a balanced offensive game plan that keeps the Eagles' defensive line honest while taking shots downfield when opportunities present themselves. And if Wentz can connect with Justin Jefferson, Asterisk asterisk a few times. For big gains, this game could get out of hand in a hurry. The pressure is on, the stakes are high, and the entire football world will be watching to see if Carson Wentz can deliver a performance that cements his place as the Vikings starting quarterback for the rest of the season. Will he rise to the occasion, or will the moment be too big? That's the question hanging over US Bank Stadium as kickoff approaches. So if you're ready to watch Carson Wentz ball out against his former team and lead the Vikings to a huge victory, smash that subscribe button and let me know in the comments who you think will have the bigger game, Wentz or the Eagles' defense, because the next story is just as wild, and it involves a surprise addition to the injury report that nobody saw coming. And listen, the next chapter, it's the kind of news that divides a fan base right down the middle. Just when you thought the injury report couldn't throw any more curveballs, the Minnesota Vikings dropped a bombshell on Thursday that has fans scrambling to figure out what it means for Sunday's game against the Eagles. The latest update reveals a surprise addition that nobody saw coming, and it's the kind of news that can completely alter a game plan if things don't go the right way. Let's start with the good news, because there's plenty of it. Asterisk asterisk Donovan Jackson asterisk asterisk, the starting left guard, who's been out for the past 2 games recovering from wrist surgery, is back in the mix and expected to play on Sunday. Jackson, a first-round pick, brings a level of physicality and athleticism to the offensive line that's been sorely missed during his absence, and getting him back is a massive boost for an offense that's been dealing with injuries all season long. Another key player on the verge of returning is asterisk asterisk Blake Cashman asterisk asterisk, the linebacker who's been on the reserve list but is now in his 21-day practice window. Cashman is a difference maker in the middle of the defense, a player who can diagnose plays before they develop and blow up running backs in the backfield. If he's activated in time for Sunday, it's going to give Minnesota's defense a huge lift heading into a critical NFC showdown. Asterisk asterisk Tyler Bob TTY asterisk asterisk, an undrafted rookie free agent, is also in his 21-day practice window and can make his NFL debut on Sunday. Batty has been impressing coaches in practice, and if the Vikings need depth on the defensive line, he's ready to step up and contribute. At the quarterback position, asterisk asterisk Carson Wentz asterisk asterisk was a full participant in practice, while asterisk asterisk J.J. McCarthy asterisk asterisk continued to work in a limited capacity. All signs point to Wentz starting on Sunday, but having McCarthy available as a backup gives the Vikings flexibility and options if things go sideways. Center asterisk asterisk Michael Juergens asterisk asterisk is also back after missing week 5, and it'll be interesting to see if he gets the nod to start, while asterisk asterisk Ryan Kelly asterisk asterisk continues to recover from his second concussion of the season. Asterisk asterisk Blake Brandel asterisk asterisk, the versatile backup, earned rave reviews after his debut at center in London, and Kevin O'Connell has made it clear that he trusts Brandel to handle the job if needed. The only player who didn't practice on Thursday was asterisk asterisk Christian Darrisaw asterisk asterisk, but that was just his usual rest day. Darrisaw is one of the best left tackles in the NFL, and he's expected to be good to go when kickoff rolls around. But here's where things get dicey, where the surprise addition comes into play and has everyone holding their breath. Asterisk asterisk Jonathan Greenard asterisk asterisk, the Vikings star pass rusher and one of the most important players on the entire defense, was listed as a limited participant in Thursday's practice after being a full go on Wednesday. The reason? A hamstring injury that popped up out of nowhere and has the coaching staff concerned. Greenard is the engine that makes Minnesota's pass rush go. The player that defensive coordinator asterisk asterisk Brian Flores asterisk asterisk schemes around to create favorable matchups and generate pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Losing Greenard, even for just one game, would be a catastrophic blow to a defense that's already dealing with uncertainty. At outside linebacker, asterisk asterisk Andrew Van Ginkel asterisk asterisk, another key pass rusher, is also dealing with a neck injury and has been practicing in a limited capacity all week. If both Greenard and Van Ginkel are unable to play on Sunday, or if they're not at 100%, the Vikings could be in serious trouble against a Philadelphia offensive line that's been dominant this season. Suddenly, the pass rushing duties would fall on asterisk asterisk Dallas Turner asterisk asterisk, the rookie who's still finding his footing in the NFL. along with backups like Bo Richter Chas Chambliss and Gabriel Murphy That's not exactly a murderer's row of edge rushers, and it's a scenario that could force Brian Flores to get creative with his blitz packages. Interestingly enough, the Eagles have struggled this season when they're not heavily blitzed, and quarterback Galen Hurts has already been sacked 18 times this year, putting him among the league leaders in a category. If Flores can dial up the right pressure packages and force Hurts into uncomfortable situations, Minnesota might be able to overcome the loss of Greenard and Van Ginkel, but that's a big if, and it's the kind of uncertainty that keeps coaches up at night. So where does that leave us as we head into Sunday? The Vikings are getting key players back from injury, but they're also dealing with new concerns that could derail their game plan. It's a delicate balancing act, the kind of high-wire act that defines NFL football in 2025, where depth and adaptability are just as important as talent. If you're ready to see how this all plays out, if you're ready to watch the Vikings battle through adversity and come out on top against a wounded Eagles team, then hit that like button, drop a comment below, and subscribe to this channel so you never miss a single update. Because Viking Nation is built different. We don't fold when things get tough. We rise up and dominate. And if this week felt like an earthquake, what's coming next could be the aftershock that topples the entire NFC North. Think this was wild? Just wait until the trade deadline hits and Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah pulls off a move that nobody saw coming. The real war is only beginning, and the next 72 hours might be the most decisive in this franchise's history. Stay locked in, stay loud, and let's show the league what Viking Nation is all about. Skol Vikings, let's go get this win.